Talk, what if I told you there's a fasting method proven to melt deep belly fat faster than traditional diets, all by switching on your body's natural fat burning mode? Sounds like another viral trend, right? But unlike the endless, quick fix, detoxes or 3-day crash cleanses you see online, this one is actually backed by real metabolic science, not hype. I'm Dr. Dustin Portela, a board-certified dermatologist who's spent years studying how lifestyle and metabolic health impact our skin, hormones, and overall well-being. And when it comes to fat loss, especially that stubborn belly fat that just won't budge, there's one type I really need to understand, ours as our visceral fat. That's the deep internal fat that wraps around your organs. You can't pinch it like belly fat under the skin, but it's far more dangerous, linked to insulin resistance, inflammation, and premature aging. Here's where fasting comes in. When done right, it doesn't just cut calories. It activates a powerful biological process known as the cure's metabolic switch, where your body shifts from burning sugar for energy to burning stored fat. That's when the real magic happens. Fat oxidation spikes, insulin sensitivity improves, and your body starts targeting visceral fat first. In this video, we'll break down how this switch works, the science behind your optimal fasting window, and why the timing of your first meal could determine how efficiently your body burns fat throughout the day. I'll also share how fasting can boost energy, improve skin clarity, and support long-term metabolic health without the crash or cravings most people experience. Have you ever tried fasting before? Comment below. Did it help you lose fat or not really? TikTok. Most people think belly fat is just the soft stuff you can grab or pinch, but what if I told you the most dangerous fat in your body isn't even visible? The real culprit behind stubborn weight gain, hormonal imbalance, and chronic inflammation hides deep beneath your abdominal wall. It's called isoleucine visceral fat. Imagine layers of fat wrapped tightly around your liver, pancreas, and intestines. It's not the kind of fat you can see in the mirror or feel with your hands. This fat forms deep inside your core, pressing against vital organs and disrupting the very systems that keep your body running. Over time, it acts less like a passive storage zone and more like an active organ that constantly releases inflammatory chemicals known as cytokines. These molecules throw your hormones out of balance, raise blood sugar, and trigger insulin resistance, a state where your cells stop responding properly to insulin, forcing your body to store even more fat. This is why visceral fat is so hard to lose. It's not just a matter of eating less and moving more. It's a biological tug of war. Your hormones, stress levels, sleep patterns, and even meal timing all play a role. Every late night snack, every sugar spike, every stressful day at work signals your body to store energy, and visceral fat becomes the go-to storage site. Unlike subcutaneous fat under your skin, visceral fat is metabolically active. That means it talks back to your organs and rewires how your metabolism behaves. Hormones like cortisol, the stress hormone, and insulin drive this process. When cortisol stays high for too long from poor sleep, emotional stress, or overtraining, your body holds on to fat around the midsection as a survival mechanism. Pair that with constant insulin spikes from frequent snacking or sugary foods, and your fat-burning machinery essentially shuts off. Over time, this combination locks your body into fat storage mode. What makes visceral fat even more concerning is how it silently fuels inflammation. It releases toxic byproducts into your bloodstream that affect nearly every system, your heart, brain, eye, liver, and even your skin. That's why people with excess visceral fat often struggle not just with weight, but with brain fog, fatigue, and inflammatory skin issues like acne or premature aging. It's all connected. Now here's the frustrating part, because visceral fat sits so deep inside, you can't target it with workouts or spot reduction exercises. Sit-ups won't burn it off. Even traditional calorie-cutting diets often fail because they slow your metabolism and trigger muscle loss before touching that deep, resistant fat. Your body needs a signal, a biological switch that tells it to stop storing and start burning. That's where fasting comes in. When you extend the time between meals, insulin levels drop and your body runs out of quick sugar fuel. This is when something remarkable happens. Your metabolism flips into fat-burning mode, also known as metabolic switching. Your body begins pulling energy from stored fat, and visceral fat is one of the first places it turns to. Research shows that regular fasting not only reduces overall fat mass, but specifically targets visceral fat, improving insulin sensitivity and lowering inflammation markers in the process. Think of it like giving your metabolism a reset. Instead of constantly feeding, your body finally gets a break to repair, clean up damaged cells, and burn stored energy efficiently. That's why many people who try intermittent fasting notice their midsection shrinking first. Not just because they're eating fewer calories, but because their metabolic hormones start working for them instead of against them. Lifestyle choices amplify this effect too. When you combine fasting with high-quality sleep, lower stress, and whole unprocessed foods, your cortisol stabilizes and your insulin response improves. creating the perfect internal environment to melt away visceral fat. Add light activity like walking after meals, and you accelerate the process even more. Understanding how visceral fat works is the key to transforming your body and your health. It's not about chasing quick fixes, it's about restoring the natural rhythms your body was designed to follow. And once that internal switch flips, your body starts to do the work for you. Tick-tock. Now, let's talk about the one strategy that flips your metabolism back on fasting. Did you know where most of your fat is stored? Under the skin or around the organs? Comment your guess below. When most people think about fasting, they imagine hunger, fatigue, or skipping meals. But here's the fascinating truth: when you fast correctly, your body doesn't slow down, it switches gears. It activates an ancient survival mechanism that turns you into a fat-burning, energy-efficient machine. Scientists call it the hours metabolic switchy, and it's one of the most powerful processes your body can trigger naturally. Here's how it works. For most of the day, your body relies on glucose or sugar from the food you eat. After every meal, insulin rises to help move that sugar into your cells for energy. But as long as insulin stays elevated, your body stays locked in as storage mode, holding on to fat instead of burning it. When you stop eating for an extended period, say 12 to 16 hours, your body finally runs out of stored glucose, also known as acetylglycogen, in your liver. Once that supply is depleted, something remarkable happens. Your body flips from storage mode to burn mode. Instead of relying on sugar, it starts breaking down stored fat into fatty acids, which are converted into as ketones. A clean, efficient fuel for your brain and body. This is what scientists refer to as fat oxidation. The moment ketones start circulating, your metabolism begins prioritizing fat as its primary energy source. You're no longer just maintaining, you're actively burning through the fat stores that have been sitting untouched, especially visceral fat. But fasting does more than change where your energy comes from. It rewires how your entire metabolic system functions. When you fast, as insulin levels drop and as insulin sensitivity improves, meaning your cells become better at handling sugar when you do eat again. This not only helps prevent fat storage, but also protects against metabolic diseases like diabetes and fatty liver. At the same time, your body ramps up the production of its human growth hormone HGR, sometimes increasing by up to 500%. Growth hormone is crucial for preserving muscle mass, repairing tissues, and keeping your metabolism high while you burn fat. It's like giving your body a full-service upgrade while you rest. Inside your cells, another transformation unfolds. Fasting triggers a process called autophagy, which literally means self-eating. It's your body's natural cleanup mechanism. Damaged cells and toxins are broken down and recycled. Think of it like a spring cleaning at the cellular level. The result: less inflammation, improved energy, and a sharper mind. It's also one of the reasons many people report glowing skin and reduced ache, and when they start fasting, inflammation drops, hormones balance, and your body finally gets time to repair instead of constantly digesting. This metabolic switch also helps regulate inflammatory cytokines, which are responsible for that sluggish, bloated feeling that comes from poor diet or lack of sleep. When inflammation decreases, your energy becomes more stable and your focus sharpens. That's why many people describe fasting as a state of calm alertness. You're not running on caffeine highs and sugar crashes anymore. You're powered by a steady, sustainable energy source. The beauty of fasting is that it's not about deprivation, it's about giving your body the chance to function the way it was designed to. Our ancestors went hours, even days, without eating, and their bodies adapted by becoming metabolically flexible. That flexibility allowed them to stay alert and strong when food was scarce. Today we eat from morning until night, keeping insulin levels high and never allowing the body to switch back into fat-burning mode. Over time, that constant feeding cycle contributes to weight gain, insulin resistance, and chronic fatigue. When you begin fasting, you're essentially teaching your metabolism to remember its natural rhythm again. The first few fasts might feel uncomfortable as your body transitions, but once it adapts, you'll notice the difference. Fewer cravings, better focus, and a lighter, more energized feeling throughout the day. You're not just losing fat, you're restoring metabolic health at a cellular level. Fasting is also remarkably efficient for targeting visceral fat, the deep belly fat that wraps around your organs. Because it's metabolically active, it responds faster when the body needs energy. Once your glycogen runs out, visceral fat becomes the body's go-to fuel source, which is why consistent fasting can visibly reduce waist circumference and improve metabolic markers even without extreme calorie restriction. The longer-term effects go far beyond body composition. Regular fasting improves mitochondrial function, the part of your cells responsible for producing energy and reduces oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and inflammation. Talk. With each fasting cycle, your body becomes better at managing blood sugar, burning fat, and producing stable energy. So, fasting isn't just a diet trick, it's a biological reset that allows your body to repair, regenerate, and function more efficiently than it has in years. When you experience that smooth, sustained mental clarity during a fast, it's not in your head, it's your cells literally working better. Have you ever felt that mental clarity or energy boost during fasting?
Share what you noticed!
Most people think fasting is just about how long you go without eating, but in reality, timing is everything. The hours you choose to fast and when you eat your first and last meal can determine how quickly your body switches into fat burning mode. The secret isn't just in calorie reduction, it's in sensing your fasting window with your body's natural circadian rhythm, the internal clock that governs everything from your hormones to your metabolism. Fasting isn't just skipping meals, it's about sensing your biology to burn smarter. Let's start with the most common approach, the 16-8 method. This means you fast for 16 hours and eat within an 8-hour window, for example, eating from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. This method is sustainable for most people. And science shows it's long enough for your body to deplete glycogen stores and start burning fat around the 14 to 16-hour mark. Insulin drops, and your body transitions into the GOS fat oxidation phase, where stored fat, especially visceral fat, becomes the primary energy source. It's often the sweet spot for beginners because it's manageable and still triggers that crucial metabolic switch without overwhelming your system. Next is the 18-6 fasting window, fasting for 18 hours and eating within 6. This approach takes the benefits of 16 and 8 further by extending the fat burning phase. Since glycogen stores are already low, your body spends more time in ketosis, burning fat and producing ketones for energy. People who follow 18-6 often report noticeable improvements in waist size and insulin sensitivity, as well as a more consistent energy level throughout the day. For targeting visceral fat specifically, this window may offer an edge because it allows the body to spend more hours mobilizing stored fat for energy rather than digesting incoming food. Then there's the 24 fasting window, sometimes known as the warrior fast. This schedule involves fasting for 20 hours and eating in a short 4-hour window, typically one large meal or 2 small ones. It's a more advanced approach that puts your body deep into fat burning territory, especially if done a few times a week rather than daily. However, it's not ideal for everyone, especially if you're new to fasting or have blood sugar sensitivity. Still, the 24 window can be a powerful reset for metabolic flexibility, forcing the body to rely almost entirely on stored fat for fuel. Now, one question I get a lot is, does it matter when I fast morning or night? The short answer, yes. Your body's metabolism follows a natural daily rhythm that's light sensitive, meaning it's designed to process food more efficiently during daylight hours. Eating earlier in the day tends to produce a better insulin response, while late night eating can spike blood sugar and blunt fat burning. Studies show that as early time restricted feeding, for example, eating between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., may enhance fat oxidation, improve blood sugar control, and even reduce hunger hormones like ghrelin. That's because your circadian rhythm works in harmony with your digestive and hormonal systems. When you align your eating window with daylight, when cortisol, insulin, and digestive enzymes are naturally higher, you help your body metabolize food efficiently and store less fat. Eating late at night, when melatonin rises and insulin sensitivity drops, sends mixed signals to your metabolism, encouraging fat storage rather than burning. This is where fasting becomes more than just a diet, it becomes a rhythm. By eating in tune with your internal clock, you're not fighting your biology, you're working with it. If your goal is maximum fat loss and visceral fat reduction, combining a fasting window like a 16-8 or 18-6 with daytime eating is a powerful strategy. You'll trigger fat burning while optimizing hormone balance and supporting long-term metabolic health. From a dermatologist's perspective, fasting at the right times also benefits your skin. When insulin levels stabilize and inflammation drops, your body produces less sebum, the oily substance that clogs pores and contributes to acne. In fact, aligning your eating window with your circadian rhythm can improve not just how your body burns fat, but how your skin heals and renews overnight. Fasting allows your body to redirect energy away from digestion and towards cellular repair, including collagen production and skin regeneration. If you're wondering where to start, I think progress, not perfection. Begin with a 12-hour fast, for instance, from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., and gradually extend your fasting window as your body adapts. Once you're comfortable with 16 and 8, experiment with longer fasts a few times a week. The goal isn't to starve yourself, but to train your metabolism to become more efficient and flexible. One key tip: keep your fasting period phase hydrated with water, black coffee, or herbal tea. Staying hydrated helps suppress appetite, supports detoxification. and maintains electrolyte balance, especially during longer fasts. The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all fasting schedule. The best fasting window is the one that aligns with your lifestyle while still triggering that metabolic switch. For fat loss and hormonal balance, consistency matters more than perfection. What's important is that you give your body enough time to move from sugar burning to fat burning mode daily. Over time, you'll notice that your cravings fade, your energy stabilizes, and your body starts to prioritize fat, especially visceral fat as its go-to-energy source. It's your biology optimized. What fasting window do you follow? 16-8 or something else? Comment your timing below. If you've been fasting consistently but not seeing the results you expected, here's the missing piece. S where you eat, and S when you eat it can make or break your fat burning progress. Fasting is powerful, but pairing it with the right nutrition strategy amplifies the effect dramatically. Breaking your fast right matters just as much as how long you fast. When you come off a fast, your metabolism is in a sensitive, primed state. Insulin levels are low, your body is running on fat for fuel, and your cells are ready to absorb nutrients efficiently. The first foods you eat at this moment will either reinforce fat burning and hormone balance or shut them off instantly. That's why quality matters so much. To target visceral fat, focus on high protein, low refined carb, and anti-inflammatory meals. Protein is essential after fasting because it stabilizes blood sugar, boosts satiety, and prevents muscle loss. It also increases your metabolic rate through the thermic effect of food, as meaning your body burns more calories just digesting it. Aim for lean proteins like eggs, chicken breast, wild-caught salmon, Greek yogurt, or plant-based sources like tofu and lentils. Next, add as healthy fats: avocado, olive oil, nuts, chia seeds, or fatty fish, which provide sustained energy and keep insulin levels stable. Contrary to the old myth, eating the right fats doesn't make you fat. It helps your body stay in fat-burning mode by keeping glucose levels steady and promoting the continued production of ketones. Finally, fill your plate with a fiber-rich, low-glycemic carbohydrates, vegetables, leafy greens, and slow-digesting carbs like quinoa or sweet potatoes if your fasting plan allows. These nourish your gut, prevent insulin spikes, and provide steady energy without derailing ketosis. Think of your plate as a metabolic formula. Asa protein, sa fiber, sa healthy fat, sustained fat burn, and hormonal balance and nutrient timing also plays a major role. Your body's insulin response fluctuates throughout the day, following your circadian rhythm, highest in the morning and lowest at night. This means your first meal after fasting should be balanced but not overloaded with carbs. Starting your eating window with a high protein, moderate fat, low carb meal supports continued fat oxidation. Later in your window, you can include more complex carbs to replenish glycogen and support recovery if you've exercised. For example, if you're following a 16-8 fasting schedule, here's what that might look like. Yes, your first meal, 12 p.m.'s grilled salmon with a side of spinach sauteed in olive oil, half an avocado, and a sprinkle of sea salt. Add a handful of walnuts or pumpkin seeds for crunch and omega-3s. This meal breaks your fast gently, supports insulin sensitivity, and keeps you full for hours. Second meal, 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. pitas, a protein smoothie with unsweetened almond milk, a scoop of whey or plant protein, a tablespoon of chia seeds, and a handful of berries. This recharges your energy and maintains steady blood sugar. AAX, final meal on 7 p.m. chicken or tofu stir. Fry with mixed vegetables, garlic, turmeric, and a drizzle of sesame oil. Add brown rice or quinoa if you've trained or need more carbs. These types of meals work synergistically with fasting to reduce inflammation and promote deeper fat burning. Inflammation is one of the biggest roadblocks to visceral fat loss because it interferes with insulin signaling and fat metabolism. That's why choosing anti-inflammatory foods rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and phytonutrients enhances fasting's benefits on both your waistline and your skin. From a dermatologist's perspective, what you eat after fasting doesn't just affect your fat, it shows up on your skin. High refined carb or sugary meals cause sharp insulin spikes, increasing oil production and inflammation that can lead to ache and flare-ups or dullness. In contrast, whole nutrient-dense foods packed with antioxidants like berries, leafy greens, and olive oil support collagen production and cell repair. When you fuel your body cleanly after fasting, you're nourishing your skin from the inside out. One of the best kept secrets about fasting nutrition is that ours are simpler is better. You don't need fancy supplements or restrictive diets. Just balance. Avoid breaking your fast with heavy, processed foods or sugar-laden drinks. They overwhelm your digestive system and spike insulin just when it should remain low. Instead, ease in with real whole foods that your body recognizes. If you're short on time, even something as simple as 2 boiled eggs, a few almonds, and green tea can keep your metabolism humming. Hydration also plays a key role. During fasting, your body loses water and electrolytes, so breaking your fast with as mineral-rich fluids like bone broth, coconut water, or a pinch of Himalayan salt in your water can prevent fatigue and muscle cramps. For those practicing longer fasts, the first meal after fasting should be small and gentle, something light like bone broth or a small salad with olive oil before having a larger, balanced meal an hour later. This allows your digestive system to restart smoothly and minimizes bloating or discomfort. When you're fasting and eating windows align with your biology and your meals nourish instead of spike, you unlock a powerful synergy. Your hormones stabilize, your energy lasts longer, and your body naturally prioritizes fat burning over fat storage. Over time, this not only melts visceral fat but also reduces inflammation, clears your skin, and leaves you feeling more vibrant overall. So remember, fasting gets your metabolism ready, but food is the fuel that directs where your body goes next. When you pair the two strategically, you're not just losing weight, you're rebuilding metabolic health from the inside out. What's your favorite first meal after fasting? Let's see who has the healthiest refeed in the comments. When it comes to losing stubborn belly fat, most people blame their diet or lack of exercise, but the real issue often runs deeper. It's not just about calories, it's about hormones. Your hormones decide whether your body stores fat or burns it. And the incredible thing about fasting is that it helps you reset those hormones naturally. No supplements, no gimmicks, just biology working in your favor. This isn't willpower, it's biochemistry in your favor. Let's start with the most important one. Insulin. Insulin's main job is to move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells for energy. But when insulin levels stay high, usually because of frequent snacking, sugary foods, or late-night eating, your body can't burn fat efficiently. High insulin traps fat inside your cells, especially around your midsection. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding properly, forcing your body to pump out even more insulin. It's a vicious cycle that keeps you stuck in storage mode. Now here's where fasting changes everything. When you fast, insulin levels drop significantly because you're not constantly spiking blood sugar with food. This gives your body the break it needs to lower insulin, regain sensitivity, and finally access stored fat for energy. As insulin falls, your body switches from storing to burning, and visceral fat, that deep belly fat around your organs, becomes the first to go. It's like taking your metabolism out of park and shifting it into drive. Another key player in this process is cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol isn't all bad in small bursts. It helps you wake up, stay alert, and even mobilize energy. But when it's elevated all the time, whether from emotional stress, lack of sleep, or poor diet, it starts working against you. Chronically high cortisol triggers fat storage in the abdomen and increases cravings for high sugar, high fat comfort foods. You might notice that when you're stressed, you snack more. That's cortisol talking. Fasting helps regulate cortisol in two ways. First, it reduces overall inflammation in the body, lowering the stress burden on your system. Second, it trains your body to be more resilient to short-term stress, meaning your cortisol spikes are smaller and resolve faster. Over time, this helps flatten your belly and stabilize your mood. When your cortisol rhythm is balanced, higher in the morning and lower at night, your energy, sleep, and metabolism all improve. Then there's human growth hormone, HGH, the unsung hero of fat loss and cell repair. HGH helps preserve muscle mass while burning fat, supports tissue healing, and enhances collagen production, which is great for both metabolism and skin. During fasting, growth hormone can increase by up to 5-fold. That's a massive biological boost, helping you burn fat more efficiently and maintain lean muscle even as you lose weight. It's also why many people notice tighter skin and improved tone after a few weeks of consistent fasting. HGH supports regeneration from the inside out. When these three hormones, insulin, cortisol, and growth hormone, come back into balance, your metabolism starts firing on all cylinders. Fat burning becomes effortless, your cravings diminish, and your energy levels feel more stable throughout the day. You're no longer fighting your body, you're working with it. Now, let's compare what's happening in your body before and after adopting fasting. Before fasting, you wake up and grab a sugary breakfast or coffee with cream and sugar. Insulin spikes immediately, locking your body in fat storage mode. Cortisol stays high because your blood sugar rises and falls rapidly, leaving you hungry and irritable by mid-morning. Your energy crashes, cravings build, and your metabolism slows down because it's constantly flooded with incoming calories. Growth hormone remains low since it's suppressed after frequent insulin spikes. After adopting fasting, you go several hours without eating, allowing insulin to drop naturally. Your body begins to burn stored fat for fuel, providing steady energy. Cortisol stabilizes because your blood sugar remains balanced and growth hormone rises. Protecting your muscles while promoting fat oxidation. Instead of constant hunger or cravings, you feel focused and alert. That's your hormones working with you, not against you. Over time, visceral fat shrinks, inflammation subsides, and your metabolism becomes more efficient. The transformation isn't just visible on the outside, it's happening deep within your cells. Your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, start functioning more effectively, producing clean, sustainable energy. Your insulin receptors reset, your stress response calms, and your hormones synchronize in a way that promotes longevity and vitality. From a dermatologist's perspective, this hormonal balance also translates to healthier skin. Lower insulin and cortisol levels reduce oil production and inflammation, leading to fewer breakouts and a clearer complexion. Elevated growth hormone stimulates collagen production, which improves firmness and elasticity. So as your metabolism resets, your skin reflects that internal balance, smoother, brighter, and more resilient. The best part, this reset doesn't require extreme diets or constant calorie tracking. Fasting works because it gives your hormones time to breathe, to recalibrate and return to their natural rhythms. Once your hormonal balance is restored, your body knows exactly what to do: burn fat, regulate appetite, and sustain energy. So if you've been struggling with stubborn belly fat or fatigue, don't blame your willpower, focus on your hormones. Fasting gives your metabolism a clean slate, helping you reset the biological levers that control fat storage and energy production. Do you think your weight gain is more about calories or hormones? Comment your take below. By now, TikTok, you've seen how fasting does far more than just cut calories. It completely resets how your body burns energy, stores fat, and heals from the inside out. It's a full metabolic transformation. When done correctly, fasting triggers your natural fat-burning switch, rebalances key hormones, and restores the metabolic flexibility your body needs to stay lean, energized, and healthy long-term. Let's recap the science behind it. During a fast, your body transitions through 3 key stages. First, it depletes glycogen, your stored sugar. Then it turns to fat for energy, releasing fatty acids and converting them into ketones. Finally, it boosts cellular repair through autophagy, clearing out old, damaged cells and reducing inflammation. This process doesn't just melt visceral fat, it actually teaches your metabolism to prefer fat as fuel. Once that metabolic switch flips, you're no longer trapped in the cycle of sugar highs and energy crashes. You become metabolically efficient, burning clean, steady energy all day long. At the same time, fasting resets the hormonal system that controls your metabolism. Insulin levels drop, allowing your body to finally access stored fat. Cortisol, your stress hormone, balances out, preventing that stubborn belly fat from clinging around your midsection. And growth hormone rises naturally, preserving lean muscle, tightening skin, and stimulating tissue repair. Together, these shifts create the perfect hormonal environment for fat loss without muscle loss, something most traditional diets fail to achieve. But here's the key difference between fasting and typical crash. Fasting is sustainable. You're not depriving your body, you're retraining it. When you fast, you're not fighting biology, you're working just with it. Your hunger hormones adapt, your energy stabilizes, and your cravings fade. Over time, fasting becomes less about restriction and more about rhythm, aligning your meals with your body's natural metabolic cycles. The beauty of sustainable fasting lies in its flexibility. Whether you follow a 16-8 window or extend as 18-6 or 24s occasionally, what matters most is consistency. Even short, regular fasting periods allow your body to reset insulin sensitivity and promote steady fat oxidation. You don't need extreme calorie cuts or hours in the gym. Just give your body time to rest from constant eating. That pause is what allows deep visceral fat to burn away. Once your metabolism adapts, you'll notice lasting benefits far beyond the scale. Your energy becomes more stable, without the mid-afternoon crash that comes from constant glucose spikes. Your heart mental clarity sharpens as your brain starts running on ketones, a cleaner, more efficient fuel than sugar. And perhaps most noticeably, skin begins to reflect your internal balance. Lower inflammation, balanced insulin, and higher growth hormone levels all contribute to clearer, smoother, and more radiant skin. That's why so many people describe fasting as both a body and skin reset. It rejuvenates from the inside out. Another overlooked benefit is how fasting enhances your relationship with food. Instead of grazing mindlessly, you start eating with intention, choosing nutrient-dense meals that support energy rather than sabotage it. You naturally gravitate toward real, whole foods because they keep your metabolism steady and your hormones balanced. You start to understand that food isn't just calories, it's information. Every bite sends a message to your body about whether to store fat or burn it. Long-term fasting improves metabolic flexibility. The ability to switch between burning glucose and fat seamlessly. That's what keeps your metabolism young. You become less dependent on frequent meals, less reactive to hunger, and far more in control of your energy. Once you trigger this switch, your body learns to stay in fat-burning mode naturally. Talk. That's the true power of fasting. It doesn't just help you lose weight, it transforms how your body maintains it. And while the visible benefits, a leaner waistline, more energy, glowing skin, are motivating, the deeper changes are what truly matter. Lower insulin resistance reduces your risk of diabetes. Lower inflammation supports heart and brain health. Talk. Cellular renewal slows the aging process from within. Fasting isn't a temporary fix, it's a reset that rewires your biology for longevity. From a dermatologist's point of view, talk. The synergy between fasting and skin health is incredible. When inflammation drops and hormones stabilize, breakouts calm, oil production evens out, and your skin regains elasticity. Combine that with proper hydration, high-quality sleep, and nutrient-rich foods during your eating window, and you'll see the transformation not just in your waistline, but in your reflection. Talk. So whether you're just starting out or already practicing intermittent fasting, remember this isn't about restriction. It's about rhythm, repair, and renewal. Talk. Once you understand your body's natural timing, fasting becomes effortless. It's a lifestyle shift that keeps working quietly in the background, helping you burn fat, stay lean, and age gracefully. Do you want me to break down my step-by-step fasting schedule next? Comment FSYT says below!